how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is time for me to talk about all of the Halloween and spooky palettes in my collection. I love going through these every year and seeing it grow. Maybe some things don't stick around in my collection forever, but I feel like for the most part, Halloween makeup is where my heart lies. I just love all the themes. I love seeing what different brands come out with. I love seeing what entities they collab with. It is always just so much fun, and I'm excited to share them with you. Now, I don't own every spooky palette ever, obviously, so feel free to share which ones you have that I don't down below. And there may be some palettes in my collection that you think I should have included in this video, but I tried really hard to just specifically only talk about the ones that either have an in-your-face Halloween theme or are like a spooky sort of theming. Like, I want it to be very in your face, not just like, oh, this has grungy colors, if that makes sense. There's also a couple palettes in my collection that are like Nightmare Before Christmas themed, but they're more on the Christmas side of things. So I'm saving that for my holiday videos, you know? But we're gonna dive into it. I'm very excited. Before we do, I of course filmed this look. It was from my members only video for this month. So if you're a member, you can go check this out now. And as far as my accessories today go, this necklace is from Suki Blade. These earrings are Primark and little Amazon plugs. And without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about some Halloween makeup. I don't even know how many palettes I have. Like maybe 35, 36, something like that. We have quite a pile. So we're gonna go through it. I did spend an obscenely long time the other day filming all the B-roll swatches to insert, so hopefully that's helpful for you. We're gonna go in no particular order. I just have things kind of stacked small to big, and we're just gonna dive in. First being the new NYX and Beetlejuice collab from this year. This is the Makeup for the Recently Deceased palette. They came out with a full Beetlejuice collection, and this is the palette specifically. It's super cute. I love the theming. It's very fun. I feel like the more I used it though, the colors themselves aren't as in-your-face Beetlejuicy as some of my other Beetlejuice themed things that I'm going to talk about, but I still think it's fun. It was pretty affordable and I'm happy to have it. It's a cute little guy. Next up from ColourPop is the Foolish Mortals palette. I got this year. They sent it during the re-release of the collection. It's super fun. I do still wish that they incorporated some of that like dark emerald green that the cast members wear on the ride, since it was a ride first and a movie second, but I still think this is fun. It's a very like ghoulish, ghostly, cool toned sort of vibe. And I know ColourPop's done other like Halloween-y collabs in the past. This is actually the only one I currently own. I did own the OG like Gather Round Sisters palette when it first launched, but as time went on, I just wasn't reaching for it as much, so I gave it to a friend, but I do have this one for now. I have the Sugar Pill Black Capsule palette. Now, upon just looking at it, it looks like, Betty Jean, this is just like grungy colors. This isn't Halloween-y, but the shade names suggest otherwise. Like we have Coven, Gloomy, Superstitious, Purgatory, Grim, Oogie. This is a Halloween palette in my mind. It launched around Halloween time, Halloween themed shades and colors. This is super cute. I haven't used this in a while. I should probably bust it out soon and do something with it. Let's talk about the spooky elephant in the room. My personal spooky collab palettes with Shroud Cosmetics, my It's Freakin Bats, and my Hallobean. I still have so much love for these. These mean so much to me. I'm so happy I got to do them. I answer comments and questions as often as I get them, but I still have no idea what's happened with the brand. I haven't spoken to the owner in a very, very long time. I truly wish her nothing but the best, even if it means that the brand is done. I just hope she's doing okay. I don't know if these will ever come back. It's not something, honestly, that I'm even comfortable really promoting or talking about anymore, just because of the way things ended with her kind of just disappearing, but I will still showcase them for this video just because it is part of my Halloween palette collection. This is my It's Freakin Bats palette, my first collab ever, and it means so much to me still to look at it. I love her more than anything. I love this palette, and I wish things hadn't ended the way they did, but I just love it. And I still love seeing your looks when you tag me in them. It means so much. This is my Hallobean palette that we launched at a later date during another Halloween time, and it's just my quintessential Halloween palette. I love her. I love playing with them together. They mean so much, and like I said, it's not really something I'm comfortable like talking about and promoting too much, just because it makes me uncomfortable and it makes me sad, but I figured I would still at least showcase them in this video specifically. Next up, I have two spooky collab palettes from Lethal Cosmetics. These are the collabs with Theresa is Dead. We have the Theresa is Lethal and the Lethal is Dead. These are super fun. This one has a lot of nods to like classic horror. It's super, super cute, like The Final Girl, Body Snatched, Creature Feature. It's just so cool. And the Theresa is Lethal is a lot more like spooky, like alien vibes, like pew pew, hive mind, plutonian. It's just so fun. I think these are honestly hilarious. I think they're super cute. I've really enjoyed these. This one, I wasn't sure if I should include it in this video or not, but I ended up deciding to. This is the Gothic palette from Cosmic Brushes. This one did launch around Halloween time last year, and it does have like spooky vibes to it with the different shade names and stuff like that. So I figured it counted. Just a nice, fun little purple situation. I love, love, love Cosmic Brushes formulas. This one is super cute. This one, I guess, was debatable to include in this video though, because it's not necessarily a Halloween palette. It's just like a dark aesthetic palette, but we're already here. I have the three Doodles by the Bunny and Gourmande Girls Halloween collab palettes. These are so fun. I never get sick of these. We have the OG Spooked palette. This one is so freaking cute. Just classic Halloween. It's so punchy and vibrant. I love all the shimmers. Nightshade was the second one they released, which again, this one's more like spooky plant vibe, but I feel like since it goes along so well with those other Halloween palettes, I feel like Spooky Plants counts as a spooky Halloween palette. And we have the Haunted. Just another kind of branch onto the Halloween collab trio. It's so, so, so fun. Moving on to Black Moon. This is the Urban Myth palette. Not specifically like a Halloween palette, but it is like spooky vibes, you know? Like urban legends, cryptozoology vibes, stuff like that. It's very, very cool. We have just things like Boogeyman and Mothman and Chupacabra and Bloody Mary. It's very fun. I think this theme is super, super cool. I also haven't played with this one in a hot minute. I maybe should do that. Moving on to Wicked Widow Beauty, we have one that's more of just like a fun, cutesy Halloween palette, and then one that's based on more of like a spooky movie, and I love them both. Graveyard Smash is just adorable. It was a Graveyard Smash, if you will. Just classic Halloween. It's so, so cute. This one just tickles me. I think it's adorable. And we have the Crow palette. This one is so cool. I love this movie. This is just such a good classic. I love this. It takes place on Halloween, so it's definitely a Halloween palette to me. Very much that like red grayscale sort of color story. I feel like it captured the movie so well. The formulas are beautiful. This was a great release. Glamlight has come out with 5,000 Halloween palettes at this point. I personally only have 2, and this one technically released on Valentine's Day one year, but it's a spooky theme, so we're including it in the video. It doesn't have to launch on Halloween to fit the vibe. Well, we have the first Chucky palette, the Crazy in Love. This one's very much a vampy, plummy. It's so pretty, very much like sultry, romantic kind of vibes. I think this is very, very cool, and obviously Chucky is a horror franchise, so it's part of the video. And another Chucky palette. I don't know why I only have the Chucky palettes. It's not even my favorite horror movie or anything, but this is The Good Guys. It's super cool. I feel like it captures that like childhood playhouse kind of color theme a lot. It's so nice. I love the shimmers in here. I've had hit or miss things with Glamlight. Both of these I feel like the formulas are pretty top notch. From Salem Cosmetics, I have the Salem and the Witch palette. I think this is actually the remastered one. She came out with another version that has like better shimmers and stuff, but we have lots of witchy fun things in here. Spells, altar, cauldron, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Dede Rune's first palette, I think this is called The Moth and the Moon. It's not written on the palette itself, but I'm pretty sure it's called The Moth and the Moon. But this launched around Halloween time. We have spider webs on the packaging, and it's just super cool. Very fun, like colorful, playful Halloween-y sort of vibes. They've definitely come a long way since then. I think they actually are doing a Halloween release this year. I feel like I saw something about that. I don't know much as of this moment, but with the Gloomy Gardens palette that they launched earlier this year, the matte formula has improved so much. The mattes are okay in this palette. The shimmers are beautiful though. I have a few Melt Halloween collab entities. I have the 2 original Beetlejuice collabs. I actually got these as a gift later down the road because I wasn't able to get these when they initially launched, but one of my friends gave them to me when she didn't want them anymore. but this is the waiting room. It's so fun. It's clearly been through some things, but very just red yumminess. I love a Beetlejuice theme. It makes me so happy. And then of course, the more in-your-face Beetlejuice one is the Recently Deceased. This one still holds up pretty well. I played with it fairly recently and it's so much fun still. I just love Melt. I love Melt so much. And we have the Halloween Town palette. They came out with like 2 Nightmare Before Christmas themes. There was the Halloween Town and the Christmas Town. So obviously we'll talk about the Christmas Town during the holiday season. But we have the Halloween Town. I just played with this again recently and it's so fun. To me, it very much gives Sally. Like it very much looks like her patchwork. It's just so cool and so creative. I just love this. I've had so much fun with it. And they did just recently launch their big like Universal Monsters collab. As of this moment, I have not bought anything, partially because I kind of got like shopping paralysis because I know I didn't need everything. I knew I didn't need to buy the full collection. But then when I was trying to pick and choose what I did want, I like froze. So as of this moment, I haven't picked anything up. But I do think it's really cool. And even if I end up just admiring it from afar, it's a very cool collection. I have a couple Halloween releases from Unearthly, first being the one from this year. This is the Gargoyle. Actually, I think they also launched a 9-pan Halloween palette, but this is the one that I have. It's super fun. I love this muted sort of color story. I love the gargoyle theming. It's very, very cool. I don't have anything else gargoyle themed in my collection, so this definitely stands out on its own. And we have the Sydney Nicole Adams collab. This is the Hauntingly Glamorous. Super, super fun. I will say the formulas from this brand have improved a lot since this release, but this one was still fun. I still had a good time playing with it back in the day. This was a fun release. Moving on, let's get into Bella Beauty Bar. They really do kill it with the Halloween launches. We have quite a few here. We have the Strange and Unusual, my favorite Beetlejuicy themed palette. It's so fun, and they have revamped this palette completely. Like this was back when their mattes were not bad, but they weren't amazing, but they've since reformulated this palette to match the quality of the mattes that they have now. I will eventually treat myself to the new palette. I just haven't done it yet because these mattes, like, even though they've improved, these still weren't bad, so I'm not angry about this one, but it's still so fun. The Basic Witch is probably my top favorite palette in my whole collection. I think it's so beautiful. I've had so much fun with this. It is outstanding. I love these colors. It's incredible. The Recently De-Influenced is so fun. Just kind of a spooky influencer kind of theme, like vampire influencer. It's so fun. It's so cool and unique. I love this color story. The Vamp palette was their Halloween release for this year. It is so cool. I love a red purple color story. These different shimmers are insane. I am so into this one. This is one of their best ones for sure. Now this one I'm still considering a spooky release. This wasn't their like official Halloween release because that was the Vamp palette, but I'm considering the Poison Garden also a spooky release. It's just so fun. And again, similar to that Nightshade palette from Gourmande Girls, I feel like a spooky poisonous plant palette counts as a spooky release. It's just beautiful. I love Bella Beauty Bar's formulas. The shimmers are incredible. Love this color story. This is also one of my favorites from the brand. It's just so good. They really can't do any wrong. This brand kills it every time. I have the 2 Halloween collab palettes between Angelica and Oden's Eye that released last year. These are so fun. We have the Little Ghost palette, very much like a colorful, playful, in your face, just bright sort of vibe. It's super cool. I love the orange and purple, but with splashes of other colors. And we have the Trick or Treat. This is much more of an in-your-face, harvesty Halloween sort of vibe. I love the oranges and greens. It is so super cool. The Moonspell palettes from Lunar Beauty are some of my favorite things. I just think they're works of art. I hope one day they'll keep up with the series and like maybe not every year, like it doesn't have to even be every year, but just every so often like continue, like maybe we'll get a Moonspell Volume 3 one year. I would be so thrilled if that's happened by the time this video goes up because I am pre-filming a little bit, but these just make me so incredibly happy. The original Moonspell is so cool. It opens like a book and we have just, I mean, the most reflective, annoying packaging ever. Unfortunately, my Prue shade broke a long time ago, but I still love this palette. I think it's so pretty. This color story is so fun. I will say if you regret missing out on this one, I've mentioned this before, but the Basic Witch from Bella Beauty Bar is almost like an elevated version of this, so you could still get similar vibes. And the Moonspell Volume 2, this launched a couple years later. This one's more of a red, purple, pink, which again, I love a red, purple, pink color story. It's just so cool. Love this. The shimmers in here are super sparkly. I love it. I have a couple from Give Me Glow. We have the Haunted Pumpkin palette. I think this is so fun. I love kind of the teal, orangey, cool tone brown color story. I love the spooky pumpkins and everything. It's so pretty. In the Bad Witch Club, I have to be careful because one of my shades is like deteriorating. Oh goodness. I dropped it once and it has not recovered. But I love this color story. I love the blues and the greens and the peaches and the purples. It's just so, so fun all together. This one has definitely seen better days. The way I'm covered in eyeshadow right now. I have the 2 spooky palettes from Nomad. They've launched spooky Halloween palettes the last couple years. They didn't launch a Halloween palette this year, but that's okay. These ones are great. We can talk about their first one, the Haunted Europe, like this lenticular packaging. So fun. But I love this. This is my favorite Halloween one they've done. It's one of my favorite palettes from them in general. I always see this as 2 different palettes in my mind. Like this is my like little pumpkin patch and this is my like haunted graveyard. That's how I always see these. It's just so pretty. I love Nomad's formulas. And we have the Ghost Town USA. Again, we have that cool lenticular packaging. So, so fun. I love this kind of dusty, muted color story. I love dusty tones. It gets me going. It's so pretty. And these are just absolutely gorgeous. I love playing with this palette. And believe it or not, last but not least, we are here. I have the Till Death palette from Jolie Beauty. This one I got as a gift recently from a friend, actually. I don't think this was launched as a Halloween palette. This is more of like a gothic wedding sort of palette, but I think it's really, really pretty. And I just feel like with the overall like theming, it's a spooky palette. So it seems fitting to include it in this video. It's super fun. There are some shades that I don't love, like some of these more satiny shades. I wish they had more punch to them, but it is a really cool color story. I think it's aesthetically pleasing. It could stand to be a hair smaller, but it's nice. I believe that brand also just announced their Halloween palette for this year. I think. I don't know much about it as of this moment, but I think they did just announce it. They'd messaged me a while ago something about sending me the palette, like well before it even had been revealed, so maybe it's on its way to me. If so, I'll be playing with it. Stay tuned. And I think that about wraps it up. Again, there's a few things in my collection that you might feel like should be in this video, like Shroud Cosmetics, for example, in general. Like pretty much their whole vibe is spooky, but I didn't want to just talk about every single Shroud palette, especially since the brand I'm pretty sure is just non-existent now. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any of these? Do you want any of these? What spooky palettes exist in your collection? Because there are so many that I don't even own. Like, I know, like I said, Glamlight has 5,000 of them, so there's a vast majority of Halloween palettes that could come from just that brand alone. Has there been any Halloween releases that have stuck out to you this year? I feel like brands have just killed it again and again. I've loved seeing this like get more and more popular each year. I feel like there was a time when Halloween makeup was just not really a thing, and I love that it's kind of just like a default now. Like every brand does it. I love to see it. It makes me so happy, and it just, I don't know. It invokes something in me. I love it so much. But thank you so much for being here and for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, leave some Halloween related emojis. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm Battybean there as well. And if you wanna, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. Also, you can join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only video once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.